On the morning of Sunday, February 22, 2026, a quiet mountain town in Mexico woke up to birdsong, cool air, and the promise of another peaceful day. Cobblestone streets, souvenir shops, green hills wrapped in mist. No one could have imagined that hidden deep in the forests outside that postcard-perfect town was one of the most wanted men on earth, Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, better known as Mencho, a man with a $5 million bounty on his head from the United States. A ghost-like figure whose recent photographs were almost non-existent. For years, he had evaded one of the largest manhunts in the Western Hemisphere. And now, according to reports, he was hiding in a secluded wooden cabin complex beyond the tree line. 2 days earlier, Mexican intelligence intercepted a critical lead. Surveillance teams tracked an associate of Mencho's romantic partner. She was escorted to a rural property outside town, remote, isolated, guarded. Analysts believe this was more than a coincidence. On February 21, she left the compound, but Mencho stayed behind, protected by armed bodyguards. Before dawn on February 22, elite Mexican forces moved in. Units from the Army, National Guard, and Special Operations quietly surrounded the area. Helicopters were limited to avoid detection. The strategy was clear: contain first, strike fast. As soldiers advanced, gunfire shattered the silence. Cartel gunmen opened fire from fortified positions. A fierce exchange followed. 4 alleged cartel members were killed in the initial clash. But amid the chaos, Mencho reportedly fled into the forest with 2 bodyguards. The pursuit intensified. A second gunfight erupted near another wooden cabin complex. This time, security forces closed in. According to official accounts, Mencho was captured severely wounded along with his remaining guards. He was airlifted toward Mexico City. He did not survive the flight. A former D chief later described the operation as one of the most significant blows to organized crime in modern history. But the story did not end with his death. Because sometimes removing the king does not end the game. It changes it. To understand the impact, we have to go back to the beginning. Mencho was born in 1966 in Aguililla, Michoacán, a region long associated with poverty, avocado farms, and illegal marijuana cultivation. He dropped out of school in 5th grade to help his family. By his early teens, he was guarding marijuana fields. In 1980, he crossed into California chasing opportunity. Instead, he entered the criminal underworld. Arrested in 1986 for weapons and stolen property. Arrested again in 1992 for heroin distribution. After serving time, he was deported to Mexico in 1997. Then came an unexpected twist. He reportedly joined a local police force, a former drug dealer wearing a badge. From inside the system, he observed everything: procedures, corruption, weaknesses, knowledge that would later become a weapon. He married into the González Valencia family, linked to the Mencho cartel. That alliance opened the doors of organized crime at the highest level. By 2010, after cartel leaders were killed or captured, he formed his own organization, the Jalisco New Generation Cartel CJNG. And CJNG was different. On May 1, 2015, during Operation Jalisco, cartel fighters shot down a Mexican military helicopter using heavy weapons. The message was unmistakable. This was no ordinary trafficking group. This was a paramilitary force. CJNG expanded rapidly, fueled by 2 products: methamphetamine and fentanyl. Meth could be manufactured domestically using imported precursor chemicals. Fentanyl, far more deadly, was cheap to produce and devastatingly profitable. Just 2 milligrams can be lethal. Pills costing cents to make could sell for tens of dollars on American streets. By 2019, U.S. authorities estimated that a significant portion of synthetic drugs entering the country had links to CJNG. The cartel reportedly operated dozens, even hundreds of clandestine labs. Analysts believed its financial reserves ran into billions. But cartel power does not grow in a vacuum. For decades, Mexico's political landscape had operated under what some analysts called the plaza system. During the long rule of the Institutional Revolutionary Party, organized crime was allegedly managed through informal arrangements. Violence was kept contained. Corruption greased the system. When that political structure collapsed in 2000, old balances shattered. In 2006, President Felipe Calderón declared war on the cartels. Kingpins were targeted, leaders were removed, but fragmentation followed. For every boss captured, new factions emerged. In 2018, President Andrés Manuel López Obrador promoted a softer approach focused on social reform. Critics argued enforcement weakened. Supporters argued long-term change required addressing poverty. Meanwhile, cross-border dynamics complicated everything. Demand for narcotics in the United States remained high. Firearms trafficked southbound. Precursor chemicals flowed from overseas suppliers. The fentanyl crisis escalated, contributing to tens of thousands of overdose deaths annually in the U.S. When E.L. Mencho's son, known as E.L. Menquito, was convicted in the United States and later sentenced to life in prison, it marked another major blow. And then came the reported death of E.L. Mencho in 2026. Instead of silence, violence followed. Coordinated attacks reportedly spread across multiple states. Roadblocks, burning vehicles, businesses shuttered, highways blocked. Cities like Guadalajara experienced paralysis. Analysts warned of narco-terror tactics designed to display strength even without their leader. Because when a powerful cartel leader falls, succession battles often erupt. History shows that decapitation strategies can weaken organizations, but they can also fragment them into unpredictable factions. Power vacuums invite competition. Rival commanders fight for territory. Smaller cells operate independently. So what happens next? Will Qing fracture? Will rivals rise? Will violence spike before stabilizing? Or has the era of hyper-powerful kingpins reached its limit? The deeper question is larger than one man. As long as drug demand persists, as long as weapons flow across borders, as long as corruption can be bought, as long as chemical supply chains remain accessible, the cycle adapts. This is not solely Mexico's crisis, not solely America's crisis. It is interconnected economic, political, and social. And in a twist of history, global events continue. International tournaments, tourism, investment, life moves forward even in regions once dominated by fear. E.L. Mencho built an empire through brutality, logistics, and strategic alliances. His reported fall marks the end of a chapter, but not necessarily the end of the story. Because organized crime evolves, power shifts, and the battle between state authority and criminal enterprise is rarely decided in a single dawn raid. If you found this deep dive into one of the most powerful cartel leaders in modern history insightful, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Nascent Bulletin. Because behind every headline lies a deeper system, and we're here to uncover it.